support the real, so I'ma tune in every day. Way up. You are now tuned in to Angela, but I call her Yee. Way up.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and happy Juneteenth. Also, happy Father's Day. Shout out to all the dads out there who are listening and everybody out there celebrating Juneteenth. There's a lot of events happening over the weekend. I like it. It's a long weekend. Yesterday was Father's Day, and now Father's Day rolls into Juneteenth. So for everybody that had things going on, you get to sleep in today. And it's interesting. I saw a lot of people talking about Juneteenth and what it means to them. I saw author Michelle Duster on Twitter over the weekend. She said, is Juneteenth the only federal holiday that some states have banned the teaching of its history and significance? How ironic, with different states like Florida, Oklahoma, and Alabama prohibiting an advanced placement African American studies course. And then here we are celebrating Juneteenth. A holiday, a national holiday we just got. But shout out to everybody, because I guess part of the irony of that is letting us know that there's still work to be done. And we have to make sure we keep our foots on necks. So today is going to be a very music-heavy show. We know y'all are outside. We know you guys are having cookouts. If there's a cookout I should come to, I would love to know about it, because I get to leave work in a few hours, and it's still nice outside, so I would love to come and be outside. BET Awards is coming up this weekend. Next weekend is Essence Festival. There's a lot going on, guys. So if you are trying to be outside, then I guess this is the perfect be outside period of time for anybody. But again, happy Juneteenth. Today, there was a lot that happened over the weekend. I want to focus on some positivity today, though, because I saw some dramas happening over the weekend. You saw some of this, Dan? My producer's here because we have to work.
Which one are you talking about?
There was a few different things. I saw Ari.
Yep, messy.
Yeah, and Taina. And
she had a good point, though.
And their situation.
We'll talk about it.
Ooh, we
later?
are? Look at you being messy.
Well, we can't tease it and not talk about it.
Then I saw Rico Love, and I saw his ex. I just saw a lot of drama. I actually, when I was driving around yesterday, I saw a couple arguing with their kids right there, and I felt bad. It's Father's Day. But holidays also are stressful for people, and that's a time that people do end up arguing. But when we come back, we do have your Yee Tea, and we are going to be doing certain things. We're doing shots, you said, Dan? What are you saying? Oh yeah, we do have Yee Tea, and we have Shine a Light. So, of course, I'm here. So if you want to shine a light on anybody, maybe for Father's Day, maybe for Juneteenth, call us up 800-292-5150 and shine a light on them. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
I'ma shine. Turn your lights on, y'all. Turn your lights on. Spreading love to those who are doing greatness. Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them. It's time to shine a light on them.
Yes, it's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it is a Juneteenth, so let's shine a light on them. Now, today, I want to shine a light on the New York Liberty. The New York Liberty won their game yesterday. It was sold out at the Barclays, and I really feel like if y'all haven't been going to these WNBA games, you need to do that. But Breanna Stewart, in particular, had an amazing game. And she's breaking all kinds of records, so shout out to her. I actually went to go to their opening game at the Barclays for this season, and it was amazing. But she is the first player in WNBA history to record at least 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 40 assists in their first 10 games of a season. So congratulations to her. She got a lot of records going on. But shine a light on the New York Liberty and the whole WNBA, okay? So who do you guys want to shine a light on? 800-292-5150 is the number. Hey, Ashley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Who you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on my boyfriend, baby daddy. For Father's Day, he's just been a good father since day one. Been taking care of all his kids, plus the bonus ones.
He's love to hear
a good
it.
dad, and I want to shine a light on him.
What's his name?
They call him Miami.
All right, Miami, we shining a light on you today for being a good dad and a good bonus dad. We love that.
Yes, we do. And thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Have a good day.
You too. Sydney, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Who you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on my sister, Francine.
Okay, your sister. Go ahead.
And I just want to just shine a big light on her and just tell her thank you. She's always there for my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She done helped my mom through 3 different stages of cancer.
Ooh.
And my mom just dealt with ovarian cancer, thyroid cancer, lung cancer.
Oh my gosh.
And she's a nurse, and she just has the strength to just keep going. She never asks for anything. She bears the problems of the whole family.
Mm-mm.
And she never tells anyone that she's tired.
Wow.
And I just love her, and I just want to tell her thank you and shine a big light on her.
That is so sweet and amazing, man. Shout out to her, just holding down the whole family and being the strongest person. And the fact that you can acknowledge and let her know that you see that, that's dope.
Yes.
All right.
I love her.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We send her much love, too, from way up.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Shine a Light on Him. And I know we're trying to keep it positive on a Juneteenth, but when we come back, let's talk about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. We'll tell you what an executive had to say about them at Spotify. We told you their deal is over, and it seems like there's some drama coming up. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee Tea.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and happy Juneteenth. We have your Yee Tea right now. Yes, I'm still at work. And rest in peace to legendary Houston rapper Big Pokey. This was really tragic, and I saw video footage from this. Of course, we're not going to play this dramatic footage, but he was performing, and then he started gasping into the microphone while he was rapping and fell on his back, and people were watching. Unfortunately, he passed. Authorities did confirm that he died soon after the incident. They have not yet released his cause of death. So rest in peace again to Big Pokey. He was a foundational member of the Screw Up Clique, and he actually gained prominence for his 1999 debut solo album, The Hardest Pit in the Litter. I first actually even saw this when I saw Bun B post a rest in peace to him. He said on social media, I wasn't ready for this. One of the most naturally talented artists in the city. Low-key, humble mountain of a man who moved with honor and respect. He was easy to love and hard to hate. He'd pull up, do what he had to do, and head home. One of the pillars of our city. If Heart of Gold was a person. Iconic member of the Screw Up Clique. There will never be another and will be missed dearly. We love and honor you, Sensei. Rest in heaven. So rest in peace, and again, our condolences to his family. Now, YK Osiris is saying that he wants to be a better person. He again apologized to his fans and family, all because of the incident with Sukihana, where he attempted to kiss her twice, even though she was resisting. He posted, I apologize to my family and my supporters. I keep letting y'all down. I just want to be a better person and focus on my purpose, and that's music. I love y'all so much, for real. Don't worry, I got a gift for y'all since I've been BSing these past years. I lost everything. My mind, my family, my love for music. I just need help, for real. So hopefully he does get whatever help it is that he needs. If anybody that's close to him wants to reach out to him and try to do whatever they can do. You know, Sukihana again did accept his apology, and it feels like he learned a lot. And I think a lot of people watching that incident also learned a lot. That's the takeaway from this, right? If anybody saw what happened in that situation, no matter what anybody says about Sukihana, about her music, her content, any of those things, her flirting, it doesn't give anybody the right to come into your personal space and put their hands on you, okay, in any way, to try to kiss you, to try to get intimate with you, to do anything. Again, let that be a teachable moment for everyone. All right, now let's talk about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Oh, man. So we already told you guys this whole story about Spotify. Now, they had gotten a $20 million deal with Spotify to actually produce different series, and they only did one series. They did the Archetype series, and the deal is over. They're not going to get that $20 million because they didn't produce enough content for that. Well, Bill Simmons, who was a senior podcasting executive at Spotify, has some things to say. Here's what he had to say on his podcast on Friday.
I wish I had been involved in the Meghan and Harry leave Spotify negotiation. The grifters. That's the podcast we should have launched with them. I got to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try to help him with a podcast idea.
Well, I'm sure at some point he's going to tell the story about that Zoom that he had with Harry, right? Because it feels like he's halfway there with this. They also, by the way, Meghan Markle and Harry, they also have a deal with Spotify that's worth around $20 million. They signed that back in 2020. So I wonder what's going to happen with that deal, because they have done one series with them. And so I don't know if there's other things on the way, other things coming, but I hope for their sake that they have some other things lined up. But for Meghan Markle, she is rumored to be signing a deal with Dior, and that's in a bid to reinvent herself. That's according to a report in the Mail on Sunday. They said there's been rumors for weeks that she's about to sign a deal with Dior, which has put the gossip mill into overdrive. If she pulls that off, then no one will remember that her silly little podcast got canceled after one season. Now, somebody told the Post that their company, we told you this earlier, didn't produce enough content to get that $20 million deal from Spotify. You know how the haters want to see you fail? Well, I'm sure a lot of people were like, oh, well, it didn't work out. But this could be something that actually is a positive thing if she ends up doing this deal with Dior and reinventing herself. All right. Also, Prince Harry did put out that memoir, Spare, during this period in time. And again, they had that Netflix documentary series, Harry and Meghan, that came out last December. That was successful. So we'll see what happens. And that is your Yee Tea. Again, happy Juneteenth. When we come back, we have About Last Night. That's where we discuss what went down last night. I went to go see a friend of mine who recently had a baby, so we'll talk about that. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Yeah. Last night.
So, about last night.
Last night.
Here's how it went down.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee. And again, happy Juneteenth. It was a holiday weekend. It's crazy now that Juneteenth is like a national holiday. It also happens this year to come right after Father's Day. So yesterday was Father's Day. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I was looking on social media at what everybody was doing. I actually told my dad that I'm going to take him to a New York Liberty game. They had an amazing game actually on Father's Day. So the New York Liberty is killing it, and that's the plan. My dad, for some reason, never likes to go out. My whole family, on the actual holiday. They feel like there's too much traffic. They feel like it's hard to get a reservation places. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, we celebrate Thanksgiving on Friday after. And then Christmas, we celebrate on Christmas Eve. Mother's Day, my mother never wants to go out on actual Mother's Day. So again, this is another holiday I guess we'll be celebrating in the future. But shout out to everybody who had a great Father's Day. And I also want to shout out to Lewis. He had his first Father's Day. He and Notori Naughton have a baby together. And so I actually spent some time to go see Notori after she had her little baby. That's her second. Their son, his name is True. Super cute. And let me tell you guys something. This baby is so tiny. I actually took a picture with the baby. I'm not going to lie. I was scared to hold him. He's so tiny. I was like, make sure you got to support the head. You know, whenever you see people on social media and they have a baby, everybody's weighing in on what you should be doing to the baby, what you should be doing with the baby, how you should be holding the baby. So I just didn't want to mess up and do anything wrong. But shout out to everybody, again, who was celebrating Father's Day. And actually, Sue did an article talking about celebrating Father's Day for the first time. It's actually on BET.com. Shout out to BET because the BET Awards are coming up this weekend. Lewis talks Father's Day, the birth of his first son, and lessons learned from his late dad. Already a husband to actress Notori Naughton and the bonus dad to her daughter Zuri, the celebrity talent manager is embarking on a new role in life. So shout out to them. Shout out to Tu for being a dad for the first time. He talks about being inspired by neighborhood teachers, including people from your drug dealers to your politicians to your athletes to local business owners who helped him understand his potential. I saw a lot of people also on social media just talking about learning lessons even if their father wasn't present in their lives and wanting to be a better dad in that situation just because they didn't have that growing up. And we do also have that opportunity and that choice to feel like, okay, well, my dad, didn't do what he needed to do. He wasn't there. He wasn't present in my life. So I want to make sure that moving forward, I do what I need to do for my kids and for my family. But as we can see, there were a lot of people on social media celebrating Father's Day. Diddy, because he got some kids, okay? So I saw he posted Happy Father's Day, love, love, love. We also saw Big Sean celebrating Father's Day, his first Father's Day. So congratulations to him. DJ Khaled, of course, he was in the ocean somewhere with his kids. J-Lo, she did a daddy appreciation post. And she said, Happy Father's Day, Papa, and Happy Father's Day to all the amazing papas out there. We love you and appreciate you more than you will ever know. Jasmine Sullivan did one. She said, as I watch you navigate how to be the newest version of a husband and father, I'm in awe. Dad, there's no words for the amount of respect I have for you as you live and prove what love looks and acts like. I know you want to cry and maybe even collapse into your heartache sometimes, and I would understand, but your strength is anchored in God and it holds this family up through our most difficult trial. But besides caring for mommy, you're just a stand-up guy. So shout out to all the dads out there who are amazing. And of course, to my own dad, who is unique in many ways. But I will say, as you get older, you realize a lot of things in retrospect. You know, my dad was definitely there for us my whole entire life. He lived in the house with us growing up. And even through a lot of ups and downs, one thing he always did was make sure the bills were paid. And so I don't think I'd be where I was today, clearly, if it wasn't for my dad. All right. So that is about last night. And when we come back, as you guys are celebrating Juneteenth, there's a lot of parties I know going on today, cookouts, events, things like that. Some people are quietly reflecting on the end of slavery, whatever it is that you decide to do. We got some music for y'all, and we are here I'm at work. I feel like I should have the day off, but I'm here. All right. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I got a new show.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that Yee Tea.
Come and get the tea.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and happy Juneteenth. I am still at work, y'all. We are not playing any games today. Now, we already told you it was just Father's Day yesterday, and of course, there were a lot of people on social media discussing what they have going on. We saw that Ruby Rose actually blessed her father with $10,000 for Father's Day. She did a series of Father's Day Instagram posts, and you see she's spending time with her dad. She put Happy Father's Day to my papa, and then under a video clip, she wrote, the person who taught me not to give a F and do whatever the F I want. And then she also gave him 10 grand. I saw some people mad about that. What reason is that to be mad, Dan?
I don't know. I mean, I guess is it thoughtless?
No, $10,000 sounds great. Honestly,
It's great, but is it thoughtful?
it depends. Like, my mom loves money as a gift.
So do I.
Yeah, who doesn't? I feel like money is a universal, like,
It's
yay.
lazy.
Yeah.
It's lazy, though.
No, it's not.
Come on.
Sheesh.
It's just
'Cause
like
I
a gift
think
card. It's lazy.
Some people, like my dad, he is not easy to shop for.
I agree.
And he doesn't like, he'll act like he doesn't like anything and he won't use it. But money, I like money.
I mean, me too,
Okay,
but...
all right. All right, now another thing I saw was that Ming Lee Simmons, Russell and Kamora's daughter, thanked her mom, Kamora, for Father's Day and shouted her out and put Happy Father's Day. Well, Russell then responded, stop telling fathers they should have fought harder to see their children and start asking mothers why he had to fight at all. You know, I know that's difficult for some dads right now who there's some issues with the family, and whether it's the mom saying, no, you cannot see your child, or whether you're not stepping up to the plate as you should, just remember you don't want your kids to suffer, period. That's all. All right, and Kourtney Kardashian is pregnant. She's expecting a baby with Travis Barker. They've been very open about the fact that they've been wanting to do this. They've been trying to conceive together. So Kourtney Kardashian held a handwritten sign during his concert in LA with his band Blink-182. And, she's pregnant. So congratulations to her. She said, Travis, I'm pregnant. That clip, of course, went viral. I guess that's what they wanted. As far as Travis Barker's ex, Shayna Moakler, she said that she knew for weeks. It's not new news to her when a fan asked her about her opinion on that pregnancy. So, yes, congratulations to them. Kim Kardashian, in the meantime, surprised a man ahead of his first Father's Day with his son since leaving prison. So Kim Kardashian posted, too often parents who owe restitution find themselves having to choose between their freedom and putting food on the table for their families. To learn more about how restitution and probation traps fathers in the system and to help bring real change, text REFORM to 81411 and follow @REFORM. So she basically surprised him with a gift ahead of him spending his first Father's Day with his son. And there are a lot of new fathers posting, so congratulations and happy Father's Day to y'all. Now, Dan, earlier you got a little messy.
You brought it up.
And we talked about Ari Fletcher. she posted Taina, which is G Herbo's children's mother. She posted her phone number on Instagram. And some people were like, how did this happen? Did she do this on purpose? Why would she do something like this? Well, she explained why. She said his dad left town, talking about her son that she has with G Herbo, and I didn't even know. So my baby was left with her, which isn't a problem, but at least let me have a contact so I can check on my baby. That's crazy. So I guess Taina had her son, had your son, and she could not reach Taina to be able to talk to her son. So somebody said, now, Ari, it was better ways to handle that situation. And she responded, no, it wasn't. I called from numerous numbers, called his dad, called his grandma, DM her, don't tell me about better ways. And somebody said, well, why don't you get that baby a phone so you can call him yourself? She said, he's 5. He don't remember to take his phone with him everywhere. So shut your dumb ass up. And so the last thing Ari said was, let me say this too real quick because y'all got to let the bitter baby mama thing go. Respectfully, saying I want to be with my baby daddy is like saying I'm broke. It'll never ever happen. I treat Herb like a brother. I have no desire to F with him outside of a co-parenting relationship. Being a side B to your own baby daddy is the lowest, most embarrassing thing you can be in the world. So cut that ish out. So that was her explanation. You happy, Dan?
Well, side note, you had your number leaked, right?
Yeah, but not because of this.
Well, no, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess that was her reason. I don't know if there was a better way for her to go about that situation, but clearly they don't get along because her number's blocked.
Yeah.
But if somebody has your child, yes, they have to somehow have access to you. And even if that means that G Herbo had to be like the conduit to make things happen, or there's I don't know, but some way, somehow, if somebody has your child, you should be able to reach them.
What was your day like when your number leaked?
This happened to me a couple of times. You know what? For me, first of all, I don't answer the phone anyway. So I can you can attest it. I really don't answer my phone. And I actually have 2 phones. So, you know, I just turn that one off and use the other one.
All right. And eventually it just went away?
Yeah, it stops after like a day. You're all good. And I'm not answering for you if I don't know you. And, you know, you can't harass people like that. The cops will definitely track you down and you can get charged or something. So just putting that out there. But that is your Yee Tea. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. Would you like to have a Netflix meal? I mean, from a Netflix restaurant? We'll talk about it in Under the Radar. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
News. This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and it's time for your Under the Radar stories on this Juneteenth. Well, Netflix, they have a new pop-up restaurant so customers can get a taste of some of their favorite shows. That should be pretty exciting. There's a blog post that was published by Netflix. The pop-up is going to serve an array of culinary offerings from different chefs that are featured on that streaming platform. Ann Kim from Chef's Table Pizza fame, Jacques Torres from Nailed It and Iron Chef, Quest for an Iron Legend's very own Curtis Stone, other people too. So diners can get to try some craft custom cocktails from master drink masters, mixologists. The pop-up is operating on the premise of from screen to table, so you can get a unique dining experience. This also stems from the success of Netflix's live action experiences. They have this whole Queen's Ball of Bridgerton experience, Stranger Things, The Experience, and Money Heist pop-ups that have been happening. And so they said that Netflix is already a destination for beloved food programming, from documentaries to competition shows, from episode to entree. So they're going to have these Netflix bites, and you can actually go and check that out. So the pop-ups operating hours are every day from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time, and brunch is on weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They don't have the exact menu for the restaurant yet, but reservations can be made online at their website if you want to go and check that out. Now, since it was Father's Day yesterday, here are some stats for you. According to reports, Black dads are more likely to play, dress, and share a meal with their child, according to data. So, according to the Black American Dad Foundation, which is an organization to counter biased perceptions of Black fathers with firsthand accounts, they're letting you know that media portrayals get it all wrong. If data shows that Black fathers are often involved in the daily care of their children, why is that story not being told? Often movies, TV shows, and news stories about Black fathers come from secondary sources, not by Black dads or those who have been raised by them, according to the founder of the Black American Dad Foundation. So that's just some interesting stats for you guys to know so you can understand that sometimes that portrayal is completely inaccurate. 70% of black fathers who live with their children were most likely to have bathed, dressed, changed, or helped their child with the toilet every day compared with their white counterparts, 60%, or Hispanic, which is 45%. Those black fathers were also most likely to have eaten a meal with their children, according to the data. So those are some real numbers for you guys, okay? Happy Father's Day again, and happy Juneteenth. And last, I want to tell you guys about Harvard. They have a free 6-week course on happiness. It's called Managing Happiness, and it's led by Harvard University professor Arthur Brooks. So a lot of people struggle to understand how to maintain and how to obtain happiness. And this Harvard course will shed some light on that, hopefully. So if you guys want to sign up for that, you can. It is a free course. The course's tagline is happiness is within your control. Write your own ending. So you guys make sure you check that out. And if you want to actually get a verified certificate, it will cost you $229. But without that certificate, it is free of charge. It's a self-paced course, but it must be completed within 6 weeks if you don't want to lose access to the materials and the progress that you've made. Okay, I'm Angela Yee, and those are your Under the Radar stories. Again, happy Juneteenth. We have a lot of music for y'all this morning, but we also have your Yee Teas. As you hear, we just had your Under the Radar. We had About Last Night, and we are going to be having some closing words from you guys as usual. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Way up.
Just like to talk like they Angela Yee, like they Angela Yee.
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee Tea. Way up.
I waited 2 years. In my eyes, he a legend. If you have a chance to do a song with a legend, it'd be like, if you send him something just to send it, just to say you got one, or you gonna make it stick.
There were also rumors from Rap House TV that J. Cole charged Lil Durk $978,000 for the feature. Of course, J. Cole's manager put up a cap, so you know that wasn't true. And Durk's DJ also wrote on Twitter, false news, we ain't never paid for a feature ever. So looks like that's not true. And speaking of J. Cole, Ari Lennox was on social media. By the way, so entertaining to me. I love her. And she talked about some things that she will never do. She said, things I'll never do that I'm perfectly content with myself about. Jump out a plane. I'm with you there. Get in a private jet. I did it one time. Jump off a cliff. Nope. Get in a helicopter. I've done that. In Montserrat. A hot air balloon. Never done that. Scuba diving. Climb Mount Everest. And she said, date music industry people. Woo. Well, you know, I guess she must have had some experiences. And Quincy Jones was rushed to the hospital Saturday afternoon. He had a medical emergency. According to reports, he had a bad reaction to some food that he ate. Paramedics were called to his home. They transported him to the emergency room. And fortunately, he is okay. He was released from the hospital following that health scare. Now, according to his rep, he never lost consciousness while in the hospital, and he was in high spirits once released. Man, that has to be scary. Dan, you ever had a bad food experience? I know you like to eat.
Yeah, I had food poisoning from sushi one time. That was terrible.
How do you know it's food poisoning and not just, you know, a bad reaction?
Good question.
Because there's a difference between food poisoning, because everybody says I have food poisoning, and just getting sick.
I was really sick. I had a high fever. My stomach was doing all sorts of jumping jacks.
Did you go to the doctor?
No. I would have if the way I felt lasted more than 2 days. But after the second day, on the third day I woke up, I was feeling better.
Okay.
But those first 2 days, because, I mean, it's going to take a lot to get me to go to the doctor. I don't know, I'm kind of stubborn about that sometimes.
Ooh. Some people go to the doctor for every little thing, and for some people
I'll be
it
stubborn
takes
about it.
a lot.
Ange, what about you, though? Have you ever gotten food poisoning? Or a crazy reaction from food?
I don't think I've ever gotten food poisoning, but I've had diarrhea.
Yeah, well.
And I don't think diarrhea is necessarily food poisoning. So,
No.
Yeah. All right. Tory Lanez has updated people from behind bars and letting them know that he did have some new music that came out. He posted, to my family, my friends, and to the umbrellas worldwide, I want y'all to know I haven't lost my faith in God and that I'm in high spirits. I'm praying for the best and remain confident that God will bring me through this. I have spent the last 7 months rehabilitating my mind, my body, and my soul. Though I came to jail a good person, I will leave as a great person. I've turned this jail cell into my work office. I will continue the legacy of the umbrella from here or anywhere else. I won't let anything stop me from being a positive light and a help to those in need. And then he also put up Hurts Me, releasing tonight. All right, so that is a collab that he did with Yoko Gold. and they put it out before taking it off the internet. Meanwhile, Kylie Jenner is under fire, and that is for listening to unreleased Tory Lanez music in her TikTok video. She posted a video of her kind of vibing to the song without a filter. It's interesting because I feel like Kylie Jenner has to know that a move like that, people are going to notice and have things to say. What do you think, Dan?
No, that wasn't right, especially because Meg was at Kylie's house the night she was shot.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been critical of her for posting that, and there is no way that they don't understand what reaction is. You are Kylie Jenner. You know every move that you make. I saw somebody on social media, Ava Alfonso, said, didn't Megan get shot by Tory after leaving Kylie's house? This is so tasteless and low. And Kylie Jenner hasn't said anything about this incident. She's been neutral, and she also was in the WAP video, remember? And then that's after that, they were at her house. So she's, I'm sure, the one that invited everybody. Also in an exclusive report by Megan Cuniff, and by the way, she's been on it at the courthouse nonstop. She details formerly sealed emails between Tory Lanez and his lawyer. And per the report, it says Tory Lanez's original lawyer rejected his idea to try to persuade jurors that Megan Thee Stallion's now former friend fired the gun the night Megan was shot in the Hollywood Hills nearly 3 years ago. So the email reads, as we discussed on Saturday, I am not comfortable advancing the Kelsey defense primarily because I don't find it to be a viable strategy. She says she would consider it if Lanez and his driver were able to be persuasive on the stand, but even then, she wouldn't be 100% confident in taking that legal stance. She said, even if both of those benchmarks were to be satisfied, I'm still not certain that I would be willing to go forward. In light of that, you should discuss with George his willingness and ability to move forward with that defense, and if he can do so by the trial date. So per the report, Sean Hawley was referring to attorney George, who went on to push the Kelsey defense in a trial narrative that cast Tory Lanez as a victim of two women who violently fought over their shared romantic interest in him. And despite them arguing that it was Harris and not Tory Lanez who fired the 5 rounds at Megan from a semi-automatic firearm, Tory Lanez was still found guilty. So it looks like the lawyer was right in not taking that as a defense. Why are you shaking your head, Dan?
This whole situation is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know, he still has to get sentenced, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, and Boosie, his recent arrest reportedly came after authorities spotted him on Instagram with a gun in his waistband. So according to Boosie's attorney, the circumstances of Mr. Hatch's arrest have been widely known since early May. Nevertheless, the federal government waited until Mr. Hatch was set to resolve his state case before filing identical federal charges. And then after they took him into custody, they announced that they were unprepared to proceed with his detention hearing. Because the government was ill-prepared, Mr. Hatch was forced to cancel a number of shows over this historic Juneteenth weekend. So reportedly, Boosie made his first appearance in court on June 15th. They said his next hearing was reportedly moved to today and that he'll remain in federal custody until today. But today's a holiday, so I guess the courts are still open today?
I wouldn't think it were.
Well, that's the date that they have. So I guess the feds were watching his Instagram. And when Mano was here, he said that's a common thing when you leave court for them to wait to arrest you again. All right, well, that is your Yee Tea, guys, on a Juneteenth. It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Hey! Yeah, she back at it. Bring in the Mac. Way Up with Angela Yee is on.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and it is a Monday. It's a Juneteenth Monday, and we're also gearing up to go to BET Awards in LA over the weekend. That's going to be live on Sunday. Last year, Lip Service was there too. There was a limited number, I think only 4 podcasts that were in the radio room. And if y'all don't know what the radio room is, it's a room where the labels bring artists through and management brings artists and celebrities and actors and athletes and everybody through to do interviews, and there's a whole bunch of different opportunities there for them. But I do want to say, speaking of Lip Service, Kiana Leday's interview is dropping tomorrow. Loved it. Great interview. She was really transparent and open and super talented artist. The Lip Service episode, though, that is out right now is our girl Sexy Red, Pound Town. And some people were very upset about the fact that she admitted to having gotten chlamydia. And I just want to say a couple of things about that. It is not very often that a person will admit that they have an STI or that they had one. And she told the whole story about how it happened. She talked about, you know, getting cured for it and where did it come from and all of those things. And so I do think it's important for people to have these conversations about going to get tested and taking care of whatever, if they have some symptoms, to know what those symptoms are, to know that you do need to go to the doctor, to know that unprotected sex can lead to things like that. And it is a very common STI, by the way, among both men and women, but it can cause permanent damage to a woman's reproductive system. That's why it's so important to go and get tested. But shout out to her for being really open and transparent about it. I saw some other people in the comments talking about their own experiences. I had some one-on-one conversations with people that were like, yeah, I remember I got that one time and this is how it happened. And sometimes there's no symptoms. So these are indeed really important conversations for people who are really mad at her for discussing that on our platform. It happened. And she was honest about it. She talked about it in her music. I remember when I used to work for Wu-Tang, Old Dirty Bastard said he got burnt twice, 2 times. And I also feel like sometimes when it's a woman discussing something, people have even more issues with that. But there's a lot of people that actually do get it. So someone's out here getting it and no one's admitting it. So thank you again to Sexy Red. Make sure y'all check out that full interview because she is definitely uncensored. Okay? It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Pick up the phone.
Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee and happy Juneteenth. Yes, I am still here, still at work, hanging out with you guys, trying to make sure that we get some updates over the weekend. Happy Juneteenth. I'm not sure what's closed because I saw they said Boosie was doing court today, but I'm like, isn't today a holiday? Shouldn't the courts be closed on a Juneteenth? But I know this is a newer holiday. And it's also very ironic as many states are trying to make sure that they ban the teaching of African American studies in so many different places. Clearly, we still have a lot of work to be done. So they said, what is Juneteenth about? Well, it's celebrating the end of slavery. And although these celebrations are new in many places, some people just recently kind of learned what Juneteenth was. I know I didn't know until a few years ago during the pandemic, or maybe before that when I watched an episode of Blackish. But in many parts of the country, like in Memphis, where the slave trade once thrived, that holiday has been celebrated since long before it became a designated federal holiday. It only became a federal holiday in 2021. All right, so just so you guys know, school and federal buildings are closed today. So feels like that's impossible for Boosie to be in court on a Juneteenth. But I do want to shout out to rapper Dej Loaf. Now, the Pistons did unveil they have a new Motown apparel line, but they also honored her with the Black Music Month Award. So congratulations to Dej Loaf for that. She actually moved back to Detroit. She had moved away for a period of time. Now she's back in her hometown. And she said it means a lot. I like the word first, especially in this city. She lived in Cali for 5 years. And she said now that she's back home, the creative juices are flowing. So shout out to her for that. I also, speaking of basketball and the NBA, I saw that Ja Morant is saying that he was using a lighter that resembled a gun in that video. And there's actually a video from the following day where he's showing his family and friends that he was not using a real firearm in that Instagram live session. So you can see his tattoos, you can see all of that. I guess he's trying to show people he was not brandishing a weapon. And he has never publicly stated that the gun he was seen holding in that post was not a real firearm. So this is his first time speaking on it. But we also already have learned what his punishment is going to be for that. His suspension is going to be. So he's actually suspended for 25 games, and he did release a statement apologizing for his actions. All right, you guys, we'll be back tomorrow in full force. But again, enjoy your Juneteenth. Enjoy your day off. Make sure you understand what it is that you're celebrating. And again, happy Father's Day to everybody who is celebrating that. I cannot wait to see y'all tomorrow. And don't forget, BET Awards are coming up this weekend. I will be there. So I'm going to make sure I get you guys some exclusive behind the scenes things that are happening. It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Enjoy. And it's time for you all, as usual, to have the last word.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I just want to shine the light on Nashville Cares here in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, the governor's trying to cut funding for the LGBTQ community, for people that are living with HIV. Not only does that affect us black people and Hispanic folks, because we're the ones that, don't get tested. I just want to shine the light on this organization who's doing a great job and continuing to get funding and continuing to test the community and continue to advocate and raise awareness for, black and brown communities that are struggling with HIV and continuing to educate our community. Shine the light on Nashville Cares, in Tennessee for continuing to stand up against this governor who's trying to cut the funding. Thank you, Angela, for this time. Appreciate it.
Hey, Angela, how you doing here? Mr. Barnes, just want to tell a little bit about my story. Started out as a janitorial working for the contract for the Internal Revenue. Now, work my way up all the way to working for the Internal Revenue. Just want to encourage someone, don't give up on your dream. You can start from the bottom, but still you can get to the top. Just would like to share my story. Coming from poverty, country like Guyana, migrate to the United States of America. No high school degree or nothing, just dropped out in the 9th grade and was able to work my way up. Now working for the federal government.
Going way up, turn up with Angela Yee.